Today we're talking about soft skills for IT professionals. So these are some skills I think every IT professional should have. And I hope you find some value in this episode. If you haven't yet subscribed on YouTube or your favorite podcasting app, please consider doing so as this does help out the channel. So stay tuned. Welcome to Debt Free in IT. I'm your host, Mike. This podcast is for anyone who's looking to get into the IT industry, whether it's for a career change or you're just interested, you come to the right place. Today, we're looking at soft skills. So these are those non-technical skills that describe how you work and interact with others. So these skills are mainly not taught inside of a classroom or in an online course. So pretty much in my experience, in order to get good at these soft skills, you got to get comfortable being uncomfortable. You got to get out of your comfort zone. The more you get encountered with having to use these skills, the better you'll become. So today, I got a couple skills that I pointed out that I think is very useful as an IT professional. So we're going to take a look at them. So the first soft skill that we're going to take a look at is communication. So in the IT environment, most of your communication is going to rely on email, phone, or messenger. So with email, pretty much this is where you may be emailing just your team, which is not too bad. You pretty much, your team already knows you. You may not have to be too formal. They may already understand how you communicate and know what you're talking about. But where this comes into play at is when you're emailing a whole environment. So sometimes, depending on the issue, it may be something that's affecting the whole environment. And I'm not saying you're emailing everyone, but at least you're going to usually have to email the IT department, let them know what's going on. Keep everyone in the loop of what's going on, because a lot of times your issue may parlay into an issue for them also. If something's not working for you, there are a lot of times it's not working for someone else too. So with this, you need to be able to communicate very good through email. This was something that I had trouble with first starting out, because I came from a regular customer service job, just helping in retail. At the time I was at Advanced Auto. So it was a customer service job. Just, my main form of communication was face to face. So I didn't have to really write no emails or anything like that. So I went years without having to communicate through email. And then when I got on at my job, it's like, okay, if you have a big issue going on, it's affecting the whole hospital, I need you to send an email to this group or this other group or to the IT whole as a whole in general. So a lot of times I would find myself typing up emails, and me at that point, like I said, I wasn't used to having to communicate via email. It would take me a couple of minutes, because after I typed it, I would pretty much reread it, make sure it reads correctly, make sure I'm getting my point across, make sure I got my details in that email, because usually if you're sending it to a whole environment, whether it's 10 people, 50 people, 100, 1,000 people, usually somebody's not going to understand what you're saying. They're going to email you back, hey, what's going on? And such and such. So communication, you got to be good at that. But like I said, you get better as you get out of your comfort zone and get used to doing it. So in the beginning, I used to be nervous about sending out those wide mass emails, but now I'm pretty comfortable with it. I still look over it and make sure that it reads correctly, make sure I haven't misspelled anything. A lot of times you got spell checker and things like that of that nature. And a lot of times with AI now, it'll if you put the wrong word there, it may replace it with a better word. But that's something that you want to get good at, and that's something that it gets good over time. So the next important soft skill for an IT professional is time management. So as you move up into the ranks in your IT career, when you get along to those networking roles, those security roles, those server engineer roles, a lot of times you're going to start getting projects. And this is where your time management is going to come into play, because along with your projects, you're still expected to do your everyday duties. If you have any issues coming about, if anyone calls you for issues, you're still going to be expected to maintain your day-to-day duties. But you have this project. So this is something where you want to be able to manage your time and divide your time out. So if you got a month on your project, this may be where you say, okay, I'm going to try to spend an hour or two every day working on this project. And you may block off time on your calendar where someone try to contact you. They look at your calendar and say, oh, they're busy, or they're in a meeting, or they got something going on. That way you won't be bothered. So time management, I think, is a big deal as an IT professional. So another important soft skills that I think all IT professionals must have is critical thinking. So this is knowing when an issue is urgent or not. So when I was on third shift, I was the only one there in IT at the time, and pretty much any issues went about, I had to call and wake someone up. So being able to critically think and understand that, okay, if this issue is something that I should wake someone up for, or is this something that could wait till in the morning? So that comes in handy. And a lot of times it'll be a lifesaver too, because if you call someone, wake them up, and they realize, oh, there's something that can wait till in the morning, depending on who you call, you may have a rough little conversation there. Good rule of thumb I used to use is, okay, is this affecting the whole environment? If so, oh, I need to call and wake up someone. If it's not affecting the whole environment, it's only affecting one user, 9 times out of 10, I would ask the user if it's something that I need to wake up someone for, or if it's something that could wait till in the morning. But critical thinking, all of this goes down to, and I think it's a very important skill to have as an IT professional. So if you're finding value in this episode and you're listening on YouTube or your favorite podcasting app, please leave me a review or a comment. If you have a friend who needs to hear this, please share this episode with them. So the next soft skill we're going to talk about for an IT professional is teamwork. So teamwork pretty much boils down to you being able to work with your team or being able to work with other teams. And a lot of times in the IT environment, your team kind of becomes like your second family almost, because usually you may have to communicate with them after hours if you have some after hour projects going on. Or let's say if you're on call and there's an issue going on with something that you're not aware of or you don't have any access to, then you may have to call that one of your team members to help you out with that issue. And a lot of times the team is important to me because I usually look at it as, okay, is it someone I can learn from on that team? I very rarely want to go into a situation where I'm new and everyone on the team is looking to me and I'm very new to it. So that's usually not a good experience. So I look at it, okay, if I'm coming up to networking, okay, how many senior network engineers they have? Because that's some of the people that I'm going to have to learn from, because even though I got these certifications, you still don't know everything. So you're going to have to learn some tricks of the trade from those seasoned veterans. So I look at it, okay, how many senior engineers they got? Okay, then if it's somewhere where I've been for a while, I'm going to look at it and see what type of person those people are. If they're good people, I've worked with them before, then that's going to make me very interested in coming in on the team. Sometimes it may be good enough to where even if the pay ain't good, but you can learn something from your team, your coworkers, which is your teammates. It still may be a good move, because even though the pay may not be good there, if you happen to leave, then usually you may get the pay that you deserve. So being able to work with a team and teamwork, I think, is a good soft skill that every IT professional must have. So the last soft skill that I think is important for every IT professional to have is leadership. So leadership, pretty much taking responsibility for issues. A lot of times you may have issues that people are scared to tackle or no one on the team wants. Being able to step up and saying, oh, I'll take responsibility for that issue and work through it to get that issue resolved. It's going to help you out in two ways. It's going to help you become a leader. And then also it's going to help you to become a better engineer in your role, because even if it's an issue that no one has seen before, then you going through working that issue, getting that issue resolved. Now you have added something else to your tool belt that you can use in case it comes up again. And then also it shows that you're a good leader, that you're able to lead. And let's say there's a big project, you may take the lead on that project, where you may have to have some of your other coworkers or teammates to help out on that project, but you'll be the one delegating what everyone does, and counter the responsibility of that whole project is pretty much on you. So that brings me to the end of this episode. If you found value in this episode, I have a playlist linked called Career Advice that you may be interested in. Also, if you're on Instagram or TikTok, follow me at Debt Free in IT. If you have any questions or comments, please, you can leave it in the comment section, or you can email me at debtfreeinit@gmail.com. Other than that, I'll see you next week. Peace.